Hey guys, Gretchen here, and welcome to yoga. Today we are going to be doing a 30-minute chair yoga practice. So, a couple things to consider about the chair that you're going to be using is it stable? And are you on a stable surface? Carpeted surfaces work fine. You just want to make sure that your chair's not moving at all on the carpet. I actually prefer a hard floor and a chair with no sides. Sides are fine, but they can sometimes inhibit you with some of your movements. And this is just a regular metal folding chair. It does have a little bit of padding on the front and the back, which is kind of nice. But other than that, if you have a stable chair and you're ready to go, let's get started. I hope you really enjoy this practice, or at least get some options for doing yoga and continuing to keep your body moving in a practice, even in those times when it seems like it might be a little too strenuous. Let's start with our feet flat on the ground. Let's sit up tall and roll our shoulders back and down. Make sure we haven't lifted the chin, but we're tucking our chin slightly, just sitting up through our spine. You might want to be on the front edge of the chair so that you can sit up, especially if it dips. Sometimes that makes our back curve. We're going to sit up nice and tall. With our eyes closed, just take a few big, deep breaths. If you can, inhale and exhale through the nose in a more traditional yoga breath. Allow your belly to relax as you breathe in and out. And letting this breath calm your body. Maybe you came here today from a bit of an energetic state, or you're a little bit rushed. Let this breath calm you down a little bit. Feel your shoulders start to relax, letting go of any stress or tension that we've held in our shoulders. That area right above our shoulders, our trapezius muscles. Taking one more big deep breath and allowing our eyes to open. Let's move through some simple spinal movements to warm up our body. Starting with our hands right here at our temples, we're going to go into our twists. So inhale, as you exhale, twist toward one side. Inhale, center. Exhale, twist toward the other side. Something to think about is making sure that we're not moving our knees, but we're just moving our upper body. Everything from our hips down is stable. Now, something to think about as you twist. There's more going on as far as muscle strengthening than sometimes we give our muscles credit for. As you pull back with one shoulder blade, I want the opposite glute to start firing, to squeeze that opposite glute, or that opposite, the side of our bottom, right? If you think about your muscles in your glutes, your bottom, squeezing both of them, you kind of feel your body lift up on the chair. Try squeezing just one. So as you turn to one side, I'm turning to my left side. I'm going to pull my left shoulder blade back and then squeeze that right glute to get a deeper twist. Coming to center. Exhale, going to the right, pulling with the shoulder blade, squeezing with the left glute. Inhale, center. Good. Exhale and inhale. Now, I really like being in a chair on this because it helps give us feedback as to whether or not we're engaging with the lower body as well as the upper body, getting that dynamic twist. It's like an X across our back. The shoulder blade pulls and the glute pulls. Make sure you just continue this motion. Exhale and inhale. Finding one or two more, making sure we're even side to side. Coming back to center. This time bringing our hands overhead. Inhale, and as we exhale, drop one arm to the chair and take ourselves over for a little lateral flexion. Inhale, center. Exhale, laterally flex over. Good. Inhale and exhale. Again, let's think about those glutes for a moment. Let's make sure that we aren't in a place where we're lifting both sides of our bottom off the chair, but we're just lifting. I'm sorry, we're not lifting at all. We're leaning and keeping the bottom attached to the chair. Inhale, center, and exhale, release. Rolling the shoulders back and down. We have one last movement. You're welcome to stay forward facing. I'm going to turn to the side just so you can see what's going on. This is a seated cat and cow, and I'm going to be on the front edge of the chair. As I inhale, I'm going to lift my chest and gaze up to the sky and roll the shoulder blades back. Have a little bit of an arch in my spine. Exhale, I tuck. Look at my belly button, round through my spine. Inhale, lift, and exhale, round. Think first about what's happening in the pelvis. So you're feeling the tilt forward. As you exhale, you're feeling the tilt back. If you had a hand in your lower back, you'd feel the arching and then the rounding. Keeping that going, but think about the mid back now. Inhale, exhale, breathing into those ribs in your mid back. Let it round. Inhale and exhale. And now your upper back. Lifting through with your chest, squeezing the shoulder blades. Exhale, rounding the shoulder blades forward, rounding the spine. Inhaling. One more time, exhale and hold. Good. Reach, sit tall, and release. Coming back to center. Perfect. From here, moving into some strength poses. Let's start with our legs wide and in the same knee bent position to go into what I'm going to call sunflowers, a little bit different when we're in the chair than standing. Our legs are going to be stable. We inhale, arms out to the side. As we exhale, we drop and round through. Inhale, bring them back to the side. Exhale and inhale. And you might want to lift them a little higher. You go in whatever direction suits you. Inhale and exhale. And you're working on hinging with those wide legs. And my lovely little mic keeps falling, so you keep going. Inhale and exhale. I'm just going to work on getting this stable. That's a little better. Inhale and exhale. Inhale, reach long. Now with our arms and our legs reach, make sure we're stable in the chair. You might have to scoot back a little bit. Can you just extend one leg off of the ground and maybe lean away from it? It's a lot of quad work, so if you need to keep the heel down, you can. We're just leaning away from it. And if you can lift it in balance, you can. Working through that leg, holding. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Planting the foot, bringing the foot in, rolling the shoulders back. This time it's your opposite leg that extends, but it stays down, right? So we're just giving this hip a rest. Leg bent and leg straight, arms out, gazing at our fingertips for warrior 2. We're looking at the fingertips on the same side as that bent leg. Good. Take a big breath in. As you exhale, plant the arm, reach to the sky, and then continue reaching over until we have an angle down the side of the body for extended side angle. And now we're not collapsing into our supporting arm, but we're pressing that supporting arm away, lifting the chest through, even turning the gaze maybe, staying strong in this posture. Big inhale as you exhale, sinking back into warrior 2. Taking a big inhale. Again, this time as you exhale, release your back arm, barely touching on the legs, reaching up to the sky for what we're calling a reverse warrior here. Beautiful. And I'm realizing now with the mirror, I may have cut off the very top of my hand in the frame. If that ever happens, my hands are just reaching up. I'm not doing anything special. So just bear that in mind if they're cut off in the frame a little bit. Let's put together a little flow. Exhale here. Now inhale to warrior two. Exhale, extended side angle. Inhale, warrior two. Exhale, reverse. So continue, inhale and exhale. And then if you'd like, you can hover your elbow and hover your hand. So you're not really using that for support, but instead you're working through your midsection. Let's do one more forward. One more back. And then meet in the center in warrior two. Good, bringing our other leg in so both legs are bent. Remembering that sunflower, slightly different this time, working through moonflowers. Inhale, arms come up. Exhale, we pull the arms back as low as we can. Really pull the elbows down. Inhale, slide them out to a V. Exhale, pull them in, sitting up tall. Reach and pull. Tucking the chin just slightly, so it's almost like we're creating a double chin situation. Lengthening through the back of the neck and lengthening through the shoulder blades. And reach and hold. This time it's the opposite leg on the other side that extends and hovers or keeps the heel down. Extends, we lean away from it. Holding, you can always set the heel down if you'd like to. Really strengthening the quadriceps. And release, coming back up, bringing this leg in and extending the opposite leg with the foot down just to give our hip a break. You know where we're going. Warrior two, nice and long and strong. Turning to gaze at the fingertips of our hand that's on the same side as our knee is bent. Lifting tall, rolling the shoulders back and down, gazing at the fingertips. And breathing, finding that soft, settled breathing that is indicative of the fact that you're in a more relaxed state. And when we're ready, we can take a big exhale, release the arm down, bring the arm straight up to the sky, and then all the way over for a little bit of an angle. We have our extended side angle, pressing into the leg so that we're not slumped down onto the shoulder. We can turn our gaze to be up at our elbow. Good. Coming back to center on an inhale, and as you exhale, release directly over into that reverse warrior, gazing up at our hand. And let's put these together in a flow. Inhale, warrior two. Exhale, extended side angle. Inhale, warrior two. And exhale, reverse warrior. Good, continue, inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale. If you want, you can hover those hands. So we're requiring our core to turn on just a little bit and do a little bit more work. Inhale and exhale. Inhaling center and exhale, release. Awesome. Let's bring our legs in. We're going to work through a warrior one series. Now I'll show you in the front and then I'll turn to the side. You're going to take your, let's start with our left foot back. So it might not be exactly what you're seeing, but that's what we're doing here. We're going to tap the toe behind us pretty far back and keep the front foot flat. So let me show you from this side again. Our front foot is flat and our back foot is behind us. Now what you're getting here is a lovely little stretch through the calf and through the bottom of the foot. So it's helpful to have that position in the back foot. From here, we're going to reach our arms to the sky in warrior one. And then We're going to bring them down as if we were doing moonflower into a little, I call them cactus arms, lifting the chest and leaning back slightly. Now, if you'd like at this point, you could reach back and hold on to the chair for some assistance, but if you're okay doing a back bend here, you'll stick with it. Zip the belly, lift the chest, squeeze the shoulder blades back. Good. And then reaching back to the sky, something a little bit different. Humble warrior, reach behind you with your arms. We're going to bring the belly down to the thigh, strengthening the back of the body, reaching long, allowing our head and our neck to be long, reaching off of our torso. Strengthening that front leg, working to stay on this chair, all the weight in that front leg. Sitting up. And now we're going to take that leg that's back and we're going to cross it over our front leg. I'll show you where we're going here. So we're going to find a pigeon pose. This leg can cross all the way over. You can also extend the bottom leg a little bit and cross it low. Either one is fine as long as we're getting that external rotation. So you can decide which one you want. Flex the foot to protect the knee. Sit tall, and then if you want, you can start to lean forward. You don't have to. We want to avoid hunching forward, but you can start to send your belly and your chest forward, opening up that leg a little bit. And if you want something to do to help strengthen your arms a little bit here, you don't just want to rest them down, same arm that's across, take the fist into your other hand and push them against each other. Pushing our hand into our fist. Taking a couple more big deep breaths here. And sit tall, release. Moving to the opposite side, I'll face you this time as we get set up for warrior one. Starting with the arms straight up to the sky, then pulling them down to cactus arms, lifting the chest, taking a little bit of a back bend. And again, if you want, you can find the chair. It does stretch the chest a little bit, so maybe this time you want to find the chair just to see what that's all about. Reaching up again, and then bringing ourselves forward, hinging, bringing the belly to the thigh, reaching back, making sure that this front leg, this bent leg, is doing the work. Breathing into the belly, reaching back with the arms, lengthening to the top of the head. Slowly sitting back up. Back leg crosses over either low or high for pigeon pose, flexing the foot. And then again, you can do the same arm setup. Just relax down to the side, or the leg that's bent, that's the arm that punches, pressing straight into our hands and leaning slightly forward so you're getting that engagement in the upper body. Holding for 4, 3, 2, and 1. Sitting tall and releasing. Very nice. Letting the shoulders roll back and down. Going to a little bit more flexibility with the spine. So we did our lateral flexion before. We did our rotation before. We're going to take it a step deeper. From here, crossing your arm across, and I want to make sure that you don't move the legs around. So if you can, squeeze your legs together as much as possible. Then you're going to take your arm across, reach behind you, holding on to the chair for a little bit of a twist. And you can decide what that looks like as far as holding on to the chair. You can also go completely off the chair and just reach behind. But you're squeezing those thighs together so that you're keeping yourself from pushing with your legs into this twist. Turning to gaze behind you. Getting the twist all the way up through the neck, making sure that we're sitting tall. Again, feel free to reach or to hold on to the chair. And then coming back to center. Let's do the lateral flexion this side. Open the legs wide this time. We're going to drop one arm in, pressing on the thighs, and then reaching over with the other hand. So this is a much deeper lateral flexion. If you want, you can start on the thigh and just let yourself lean, or you can get rid of that on the leg altogether like I was showing you and take this into a pretty dramatic lateral flexion. Breathing into these ribs that are up to the sky. Really breathe and open them up. And then coming back up to center. Good. With our legs still wide, we're going to do a little bit of something for the upper body. Take our arms wide. We're going to cross right arm under left arm. And now you can just go to a hug. It's going to be weird on the mic for a second. You can just go to a hug here to open the upper back. You can also go backs of hands together or hands all the way together in eagle arms, lifting up slightly and then rounding forward just a little bit. If you want to round, you don't have to. You can just stay lifted. If you're nice and solid on the chair and you want to round forward in between your legs, you can. Again, all kinds of options, friends. Stopping wherever you want with our eagle arms. Sitting tall, opening wide, and switching sides. This time left under right. Starting with the hug, progressing if we want, making sure that we're not holding hands and doing weird things to the wrist. Everything is pointing straight up. And again, if we want, we can take this into a forward fold with eagle arms. We don't have to. We don't have to. Especially if your chair is feeling unstable. I don't want anyone to face plant. So listen to that as much as you are listening to your body today. And release. Beautiful. Let's bring the legs back together. Squeeze if you can. And then let's twist the opposite direction. Cross the arm over, reaching behind. We can grab onto the chair if we want, lifting and looking. Slowly coming back to center. Nice. Allow your legs to open for a lateral flexion. We might want to start easy, reaching up and over, laterally flexing all the way over. And then if we want, we can continue that reach through until we're in a pretty dramatic, again, lateral flexion of the body. And immediately, now that we've done it once, I want you to start thinking about the breath. You're breathing into this part of your rib cage that's pointed up to the sky. You're imagining that those ribs expanding and contracting, creating flexibility in those intercostal or in between your rib cage, in between your ribs, in your rib cage muscles. And coming back up to center. Beautiful. One more thing for the upper body as we open the arms, thumbs up to the sky, lifting the chest. Thumbs point down to the ground and starting to bring them behind you, opening the chest. Beautiful. Awesome. Let's get a little leg stretch here. You can scoot back a little if you need to. We're going to extend one leg, toes to the sky, and start to hinge in half. Let me go to the side a little bit so you'll see what's going on. One leg extended, and I start to hinge in half. In fact, sideways, I'm just noticing something. I kind of let this side of my hip hang off the chair, and it's giving me some more range of motion. So if you want to do that, it's a great idea. You can just hinge, or you can hinge and reach. There's nothing special about being able to touch your toes here, but it is something to think about. Just try to avoid this roundness to get there. Instead, think long spine, long reach to the toes. So you're folding in half like a piece of paper. Good, rolling up. Then we're going to switch sides, doing the same thing on the other side. Extend, start to lean, and then if we like, we can reach. Slowly coming up. Nice. We're going to sit all the way back in our chair. So let yourself sit back. Let yourself press against the back of the chair. So you're sitting back, head aligns over your spine, inhaling and exhaling. And we're just going to practice that breath that I've kind of talked about, but it's this rib cage breathing, breathing with the intercostals, or the muscles in between the ribs, in mind. So as you inhale and exhale, I want you to intentionally breathe into the chair behind you. Press your rib cage into the chair and exhale. Pull the rib cage away from it. Inhale. Press the rib cage into the chair and exhale. Pull the rib cage away from it. Exhale and inhale. This is a really good thing to get in the habit of doing if you're ever in a place where maybe you're stuck on a bus for a while, or you're kind of having to sit down, and you're wanting to think about ways to help your body. One of the things that you can do is practice breathing into that thing that you're sitting on, whether it's a seat or a bus bench, whatever it is. Practice that. And as you're ready, you can let your eyes close. Continue to practice breathing. We're going to do a very, very simple little meditation today. As you breathe, I want you just to imagine your thoughts like they are floating through a stream in your mind. And there might be a lot going on in your mind. There might not be a lot. Right now, here at Texas A&M, it's our first week of school. So I've got all kinds of little bitty things like my to-do list maybe running through my mind. And instead of stopping and picking up those items and looking at them and analyzing them and when am I going to get these done, instead, what I'd like for us to do together is imagine them just scrolling, floating by on a stream through our mind. Yes, they're things. Yes, they're there. Getting rid of them completely might not be in the cards for us right now. But what we can control is the energy and the intention with which we view these thoughts, allowing them to move through nice and slow, resisting the urge to pick them up and examine them, knowing that if they're in this stream, they're not going anywhere. They're here. It's not like I'm going to forget it if I don't quickly pick it up and think about it more. So allow yourself to see and then pass by, watching everything just float by. And hopefully, as you do this, less and less things are coming up in that water. Less and less things are floating by. Feel free to stay here for as long as you like. Let everything just flow by and relax. Or maybe you just want to spend 30 minutes with me today. And in that case, you can allow yourself to come back to this space and open your eyes because we are done. Thank you so much for your practice today. Have a wonderful one. And don't forget to make it back here next time. So go ahead and hit that like, subscribe, and follow me to get notified of what's coming up next.